Today, Eric Hellman is a change coach and communications consultant. His passion is while connecting to our human challenges and what we can do practically to create results in our own lives and for those around us. Eric also has a deep love of Christmas. He's especially touched by the music and the lights. He often hums Christmas carols throughout the year. And he tells me that once he kept his Christmas tree up until March. That's an accomplishment. Our musician today, Lawrence Kirby, is an amazing guitarist who happens to be blessed with a most magnificent voice. He's also a very talented songwriter, and we will hear from him later. But right now, Eric will introduce our next piece of music, then lead us into meditation. Over to you, Eric.
Thank you so much, Pixie. As always, you do the platform work so beautifully. You host us so richly. Thank you for your love and your prayers. So what I'd like to do today is just invite you to gently sit back. And you might look at this yoga dog and assume the position. I'll at least invite you to take a deep breath and perhaps put your hand on your heart. And I invite you to begin to take a deeper breath and thought as we let Bethany, a singer-songwriter, guide us into meditation and prayer with her song called Go Within.
Settle back, close your eyes, free your mind, just be. Watch your breath come and go as it takes you out to sea. God is here loving you, hear the oceans roar. Go within, let the peace bring you home once more. Let your thoughts drift away, you don't need them here. You are in a quiet place where trust replaces fear. Feel the beating of your heart, feel the air upon your skin. Listen to the silence. God is calling, go within.
Now, as you feel yourself sitting in your chair or wherever you're sitting or lying on, just begin to have an awareness of your hands, your feet. Perhaps there's a tingling or a pulsation, a warmth or coolness. Perhaps you feel the beating of your heart. Or a pounding or a beating in some part of your body. Just invite it in. Don't try to resist it, but welcome it if you can. Embrace whatever is going on inside of you. This is a time in our world, in our lives, we're embracing or being present to the challenging is part of what we're being called to do, to be present. To be present to the challenges we're having in our bodies or our minds. Be present to the challenges we're facing in our environment, locally and globally. To be present with the conflicts in our lives, whether it be about politics or vaccinations, family issues. These are all rising to the surface at this time and in this place and in this season. So I invite you to open yourselves to them, but not to stop there. But not to stop there, because there's a deeper part of us that knows we are more, that knows, as we heard in the daily word, that divine peace is greater than each or all of these. And that, as Pixie said, good is here now. So I invite you to take one more or several more breaths. Just take those thoughts. Divine peace is greater than this. And my good is here now. And ponder those in this time of silence. Now, as you begin to be aware of the sound of my voice again, feel the pulsations in your hands or your feet once more. The tingling, the beating of your heart, the sounds or sights in your room. Perhaps your eyes begin to flicker and open and see the computer screen again if you're watching, or just the sounds around you and within you as you come back present into the room. If you're listening by phone, welcome back. Come on back from wherever you've gone. Come back into present awareness, and yet return to this time with that memory that you are more, and that peace and good are here and now. Take another breath, flex your body, move your shoulders or your upper body or your lower, and come fully back into the room as I welcome you to today's talk. Before I get into that, I'd first like to say a grateful thank you to the people at Unity York Region for having created this beautiful PowerPoint with Bethany's music. Thank you all if you happen to hear this. So take one more breath, come back further into the present. And today's talk, as you may have heard or seen, is how will you use the gifts that you've been given? That'd be maybe a little bit of a head turner, but you'll understand the language as I go through the talk. I welcome you back. Take another breath as you come back into the room. So here we are. It's December already. Hard to believe. And we've come to almost the end of the year and the last of our 12 powers. And this month, our power is life. Feel that, if you can see the screen, that life rippling through you. Well, what I'd like you to do is consider that this power, life, don't just see it as something separate, but as the result of the other 11 powers that we've been studying this year. So let's take a look at what those are one more time. We began in January with faith and strength, wisdom and power. We moved on to the power of love, imagination, understanding, will. And in the last couple of months, the powers have been order, release. Now, if I'm combining for this word life, take a breath with that and think about what life means to you. See, this idea of the 12 powers was developed by this man, co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore. And what he was trying to bring together his Western understanding of Christianity and Eastern spirituality. And in developing the 12 powers, he called them our innate abilities. He went on to say that humanity has been given 12 God-given powers to aid us in our spiritual development. And that when we combine them, we can bring about our highest good. So there are two parts that I'd like you to think about in there. One is that these powers independently won't just serve us. We need to bring them all together. It's love tempered by wisdom, tempered and integrated with understanding, will with faith. And we also have to recognize that we already have them, and that's the key to them. It's not something outside, it's something within, and that's why I've called them gifts we've already been given. This idea of Charles and this whole 12 powers idea reminds me of what another man said some years before. That man was Jesus, this beautiful painting by Heinrich Hoffman. And what he said, quoted in John 10:10, I am come that they might have life, that power for the month, that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. So that's what the theme is, having life and life more abundantly this month. So here are my two focusing questions for today. And I put up on the screen here a star to help you to focus and remember. You might think of it as a North Star that you point yourself towards, or the star in the east that was foundation in our Christmas story. And here are the questions. How will you use the gifts that you have been given your 12 powers of thought. How will you use those this month? Second question, how will you use your life to have life more abundantly? Take a breath. How will you use your gifts, your thoughts, and your life that way this month? And that's what I'd like to explore with you today. So, rather than effort or push to try to answer those from your local mind, your personal mind, I invite you to start in prayer. Yes, with a gentle opening of your heart and mind, and then asking inside. So here I'm going to invite you to turn within again and take a breath and listen to my words. You might even speak them if you can see them on the screen, whatever fits for you. As you open yourself up, help me, God, or whatever name you use. Help me to have more life and more peace. I want to feel more of your presence, more connection with others, and experience more of the magic and the wonder in my life. Take a breath and surrender those up as we do a second prayer. This one is help me Spirit, help me universe, help me source. I want to be your spark, your flame in this world, and feel that joy and love that's been promised universally to me. I want to feel those. I want to know your will and my own, and be your presence wherever I go. Help me to use the powers within me to bring more life and more peace and more healing to our world. And with that, I invite you to let them go, offer them to the universe, and see where they may take you. Think of the other powers that we've studied this year as you think of that light. And as you see that star again, I invite you to consider those guiding questions once again in a different form. How will I use the gifts and abilities that I have been given this month? And how will I use my life today and in the days to come to have life more abundantly? Think about that as we move forward. All right. So, will I use those gifts of thought in my life for the light or for darkness? Now, that may seem pretty dark and bleak, but oftentimes that's the core of the choice we make. But let's put it in more human and practical terms. Will I use them for conflict or for peace? Will I use my gifts, my thoughts, and my life to grow fear or loving kindness, as the Dalai Lama might say? Or will I use them to divide or to connect and to heal? Which will be your North Star, your star in the East this month? What I've come to learn over the last 40 years of working with these ideas is that these are the choices we make every time we make a decision. Every time we take an action, and every time we even think about what to do. Now, that may seem over the top. Is that really the case? Well, that's what I think Charles Fillmore was pointing us towards in the 12 powers. And in fact, it goes to the core of what those powers are about. So let's explore that a little. Think of a situation in your own life where you've told yourself that things are hopeless. We tell ourselves that often, don't we? In different ways, things small and large. Well, we can tell ourselves that, or we can call upon the power of faith, that more hope is possible. Here's another situation. We tell ourselves there's nothing we can do, whether it's about money or relationships or climate change or whatever. Or we can call upon the power of imagination and discover that there is more that we can do. Another situation, we can see the chaos in the world, and who among us doesn't see that now, large and small, in whatever kind of situation. And we may be tempted and then actually feel scared or get angry or upset, even to the level of violence, inside or out. Or we can turn to our powers of divine order and understanding, love and compassion, and realize that we are here to both be and bring change that we most want to see in the world. It's a hard choice to get our mind to that place sometimes, but it is possible, and it is the power we have within. Easy to say, but not always easy to do, right? Maybe some of us hold on to the past, and that's what I was talking about last month, because I hold on to the past a lot, onto what or who we've known, onto ways we've lived before. But then there's the or we can use our power of release to let these go, and then step into our power of zeal, into what our heart and soul are calling us to be, to do, and to live here and now. And one more. We tell ourselves that our ideas or our words or our talents or our voices aren't important. Well, we can stay there, or we can take a step into our wisdom, our love, our strength, and our self-love, and risk putting our words, ideas, our talents, and ourselves out there. Do you see the choice we make so many times each day at the level of the power of thought? We may not even be aware of it, but that's the importance of how we use and hold these 12 powers. You see, you and I and everyone else are children of God, creations of the infinite universe. And within you and all of us are the thoughts that connect you and us to the universe. So which will you choose? I invite you to take a breath. Will you choose to use thoughts that grow the light or the dark side of you? The side of you that sees and in fact replicates and grows and creates the bleakness and the darkness, or the greenness and the aliveness of the world that you want to live in? Will you choose just operating from your small self, your local personal mind, or will you allow that larger self, intuition and your feelings and these ideas of the 12 powers to connect to the universal mind and act from that place? That's what these powers are meant to do for us. Faith, strength, love, imagination, whichever one you choose, that's the idea to help you to connect to that larger mind. So I believe that all of us want so deeply, even below the level we can think, to live in a world where our voices are heard, where we are valued and we are loved, where we can feel the power of our actions and that we can see that we can make a difference. I believe that we want to express our truths and our gifts, and I don't think anybody else on the planet is different from that. That's what joins us. We want to feel really alive, and we want to live to the fullest extent of our soul. I believe that we want to have enough money to be secure, to help others in need, to discover how to heal our bodies and our minds from every type of illness and disease, and to see our world transformed and healed, because we know that there are many challenges, as this picture on the screen of the Band-Aids on the planet may evoke in you. But here's the thing that we make the choice. Make the choice to grow into our own powers. Make the choice to grow into our own purpose and into our own healing. And that depends upon our willingness to listen to that little voice or spark within us. And then allow that intelligence of the universe to come to us and express through us. Because the world is only transformed and healed through us. And this thought and picture of a being holding and embracing the world is one that evokes that feeling. It's not about others having to do it. It's about our embracing all of the challenges and all of the beauty and all of the light and all of the darkness that we are facing in our world today. Challenging job. Take it breath by breath, moment by moment, and be that love. So how can we do that right now? You know, my ideas are, how do we take these spiritual ideals and make them practical right now? Well, let's use Christmas as an example of how to do that. There are so many opportunities to use these 12 powers and put them into action in this season, as this Santa Claus character on the beach with a surfboard suggests. Now, I've been told by reputable authorities, I don't know for sure, but I've been told that that's not Pixie in costume celebrating Christmas on White Rock Beach, but I can't attest to that. I'll have to ask Pixie after this service. But anyway, here's where we're going to go with Christmas. As you think about what you have to buy, what you have to make or bake or cook over the next month, and all that you need to do, will you remember that you have the ability within you to do it differently? To pause, to choose peace, to take a breath, to ask for guidance or wisdom or ideas on how to help, to ask others for help, and to commit maybe even to doing a little bit less than you normally do this year so you can have more peace. As you get busy and feel pressured, how many of us don't at this time of year? As you feel frustrated when talking with other people, as we often do when family gatherings or friends gather, about whatever issues may divide us. Or as you think about Christmases past and you feel the people you miss or the experiences that have perhaps clouded your picture of Christmas. Which self or voice will you use to guide you as those things come up? In all of these situations, pressures and challenges that you experience in the months to come, what thoughts will guide you in how you treat others, and more particularly how you treat yourself? And so I'm going to, as we move towards completion here, invite you to think of that star again. That North Star, or that star in the east. How will you use the gifts you've already been given? Here's another way of thinking of that question. How can I use my life, my actions, my choices, my words, and even my thoughts to have more life and to give more life this Christmas? One more breath. Think about what you most want in this month to come. And I'm going to put this blank line here. Answer it with whatever word fits for you. You might use the word peace, as is our theme for this Advent Sunday, or you might have any other word, joy or hope or love or togetherness or healing. Think about what you most want. And then we'll turn just for a moment more into prayer and say, God, help me to have more of this, whatever it is you want, and work through me to bring more of this to others, whatever that is. And imagine that this that you want to have and experience is actually the real gift that you have to give throughout this season. And whatever gift you give in physical terms behind it, give the gift that you most want to have and you want others to have. That's the consciousness, the energy, the power of the thought behind every gift you give and everything you do. And then watch and listen, just as this shepherd boy did in the song, for the light, the music, and the magic that can happen in this season as we bring this consciousness into all that we do for Christmas. Take another breath. Let it all go, and let's consider our gifts and our abilities with Brother Lawrence and his song, Peace Ability. God bless. Brother Lawrence, over to you.
There is a fan in the background heating up this cold basement. I have the ability to sing amongst the fans. Oh, bad joke. Hang on a second here. Lovely talk, by the way, Eric. That was gorgeous. And here we go. Love brings joy. That's my ability. Love brings joy. I choose right now. It's my ability. I hold the light close to my heart. That's my ability. Love brings joy. I cannot fail. It's my ability. And I know I'm generating the peace. Yeah, that's my ability. It is how I transform my world. That's my ability. I love, I accept. It's my ability. I embrace, I trust. That's my ability. The life I am brings out the joy. Ah, yes, that's my ability. The life I am brings out my joy. Ah, it's my peace, my ability. Love brings joy. Yeah, that's my ability. I hold the light close to my heart. Yes, that's my ability. My peace ability. My peace ability. Peace ability. Peace ability. Peace ability.
Wow, that was so lovely, Lawrence. And also, Eric, that was a most inspiring and very practical message today. I'm so grateful to have heard those words, and that's something I'm really taking to heart. And I'm not going to make any confessions about my appearance. I've signed a non-disclosure agreement, and I have to abide by that.